Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're back with a Summer of Suffering Mole Man fight. So for this fight, it's relatively easy. There were 3 tags. You had to have a medium, size medium mutant champ. So for that I used Toad, a rank 3 and a bit Toad. So not even a maxed out Toad. I used a couple of revives for that. I just couldn't be bothered to... Like the ISO I've currently got on my account is very, very poor. Then I went with Kashala and Spider-Ham. All these fights I've sped up because you don't need to see 3 fights of the same thing, but we can talk through them as and when we go. The easiest for this is probably Spider-Ham or Kashala. They're both pretty easy. But let's talk through the Mole Man and then why the fights were easier. So the Mole Man has Spite. So every time you have a buff, he gains power. So champions like sort of Magneto or Professor X, you'd think would be quite good with this, but because they've got buffs, he's constantly getting power, and that becomes very, very frustrating. And then he's got Bubble Shield, so 10 hits into the block, and his next hit is unblockable. Hubris, so he takes no damage, but then takes a large chunk of damage, about 350% of what he has taken during his special attack after and the first hit. So you see after this, he'll take a big dash, and then that's really how you do his damage. So just lots of sort of damage over time effects or big hits after his special, and he just goes down quite a lot. So Kashala's the best option because obviously she has the spells. If you parry, you intercept, and heavy attack enough times, she'll build up those spells. He will become aggressive, and then you put the Incinerates on with your SP1, and that is what does the big hubris damage. So for Kashala, you just want to bait the special free, parry it to parry the little electronic part of it, and then heavy attack, if you get your spacing correct, that will basically take him down. It will build up your spells. You'll be able to do a lot more damage through the Incinerates, and that fight is very, very easy. So she's by far the best option for that fight. This is the Toad fight, so you'll see that I've done all of this in his one life. I will die in a second, but for Toad, again, it's very much the same. Put on boosts and just try and do his tongue attacks. Mole Man will get his paralytic poisons, but the passives, that will do damage to Mole Man. Then he will take the damage after the special attacks. So again, this is quite easy, but it just is basically a regular Mole Man. It also has the Tranquility on it, which means you lose your power every 25 seconds, and so does he. So it sort of stops him from getting to an SP3. But it's just a big Mole Man. I know the fight's sped up, but this is a 6-minute fight. Because of the hubris node, it does take a bit longer. Just remember, try not to take hits into the block when he is frenzy. So he's got that orange icon on the right because he does a lot more damage, and they're basically all guaranteed crits. So you want to try and when he's in frenzy or when he's not in frenzy and you're building up, it's fine to take the blocks, but after that, just get the spite on you with the dexterity, mastery, and then then it's not too much of an issue because he's building up to his SP1, his SP2, throwing that, and then that's how you're doing your damage. So really, you want him to throw as many specials as possible. I will say with Toad, just throw your SP1 for those paralytic poisons to build up again. And then, again, like we said, with Kashala, put the Incinerates on, and with Spider-Ham, just play the fight normally, and that fight should be super quick. There are some other options for this fight. So for Mystic plus damage over time, Kashala's a great option. Wiccan's a very good option, and so is Werewolf. Kindred was also an option. I thought he wouldn't be too bad, but obviously I went with Kashala. Then for the science and defensive utility, you have got Spider-Ham. Void can work. Joe Fixit's very good for these, and so is Cassie Lang. So a couple good options there. And then for Toad, you can go Toad, Iceman, or Weapon X. All, again, very good options. Toad, I just thought was the easiest, given that we he gets every time he's good against shruggers. Basically, every time somebody shrugs, that paralytic poison can become passive. It has a chance of becoming passive, and then that obviously keeps it on through the tranquility and through the removal of all buffs and debuffs. So that's basically the fight. It's very, very easy. Or it's not very, very easy. It's still quite complex because of the frenzy that hit into your block. But if you can just keep him baiting or keep baiting his specials, allow him to just chuck them and then punish them for that hubris node, and you should be okay. As you can see, I used a rank 3 Toad. I only had to revive him twice, so it's not like I was just smashing revives. I was able to get 50% health down with him. Maybe I could eventually soloed, but with a rank 3, it just becomes quite long. One hit into your body or couple frenzy hits into your block, and you're basically dead because of how low his health is. So yeah, it's not the easiest with a low rank 2. So hopefully this has helped you out. You know some of the good options. You've seen how to play it. Just remember, get the dex for that spite, as you can see on screen. Let him power up, throw his specials. Keep him throwing his specials, punish them, and the fight shouldn't be too easy, and he'll take big damage in return. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Apologies for no videos on Saturday. I had just a very busy week and I wasn't able to get any out, but hopefully for this week we've got a big new event quest coming, so it shouldn't be too... we should have a lot of content to cover. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, please like, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.